Hey everyone, welcome to the request video, and I got 82 including the ones I wanted to do myself. We'll do them alphabetically. I don't know, batches of 20, 30. We'll see how fast I move. First one, this someone requested CEHL and this doesn't exist. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. We cut it and we start with AA, and this one looks to be breaking down. On the long-term chart, it has this crazy ass broadening formation, which it picked above once and then completely cratered. And we are now at the midpoint of that, or we were at the middle point of that broadening formation and breaking down. This is not a very good sign. More akin to this consolidation here. And as you can see, when it broke down, it didn't quite crater, but it slow bled to death until it had a massive sell-off a bit later on. And this is quite possible for it as well, save for a quick recovery. Monthly looks horrible, 20% down month. Quarterly, 40% down, 14. Yeah, not pretty. It made new lows, maybe a potential bounce on Friday, but more or less it has to bounce here. If it doesn't bounce here 27.5-ish, this one is kind of fucked and I would not touch it. Call flows keep coming in for it, but I don't know. Earnings disappointed and or they didn't, but it didn't hold the gains. So basically, either this and then recapture these levels and goes above it, like above 33, and then it can be bullish again, maybe up to 43. But this can also play out as a rejection. And rejecting here, then making new lows, it will drop a lot. Not too keen on it. You can potentially play the short-term bounce here. I think it 100% sees a retest of this area here at 41 in the next month or so. So we can play it until here. Then we don't care. That was the play. For the long term, we need to see how it reacts to this area. Then Apple. So Apple went to here, here. So it's in the 170, 175 area. It's extremely oversold. How was the volume on Friday? Eh, Meh. Good, but meh. Weekly, let's put MACD as well. So we're on the weekly. Basically, Apple is the market. Now on the daily, we're coming up to maybe a positive crossover. It depends. I think the question is what happens above. So this will be support. It is support, like there's no discussing it. Wow, it went even below the 100 MA. So now the question is whether it backtests and fails or backtests and succeeds. I think this will be the common theme among all stuff. So basically, let's say we go here or we don't, doesn't matter. We go to 178. This is this high here, area of the previous all-time high, and the 100 MA. And if we get rejected, we likely see 200 MA. So that's 162, 60, 160-ish, let's call it. So this is the bearish scenario in which the market sells off to Jackson Hole. This scenario is probably, we go even higher. How high can we actually get? I don't think that high. Thinking. So let's put this one in major support. This one is major support. This is chop range-ish. We can kill that one. And this one, this is where the sell-off started actually. So this is major resistance now. So 191. So if we get that bullish scenario play out, this is likely where it will stop. And my target is the week of September 8th for the peak. So something like this, then gets rejected and we get that sell off to the 200 MA anyway. This is Apple. Okay. Airbnb. We're at support. So high chances we get a bounce. This has sold off quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. 17% for the month. The put flow worked, but not before a significant drawdown. This looks like a level now. Also crossing over below on MACD. Actually even lower. Because we were looking to where the move, the breakdown happened. And it happened when we lost the low of the close of this candle. This is the top one is this one is the IPO price where it opened on IPO. So this is also major resistance. I think we should be getting a bounce. Bullish scenario is this 147. Bearish scenario is a much lower bounce. We still get a bounce probably to 130. And then we continue lower after a bit of consolidation. We make a bear flag here, like this, and then we eventually break down, start the next leg down, and target is 100. In the bullish scenario is the same kind of thing, but much slower. Maybe we even bounce here. It depends what the market does. I don't think it can continue lower without first resetting RSI a bit. Like RSI needs to do something, go to 50 and then drop down again. It needs more room to drop. So short-term bullish on Airbnb. This could potentially be like a single a weekly, and you take profit quickly. If it goes to 130, you take profit. Okay, and now we're getting into the stuff that I haven't looked at all. And let's draw some lines. This is ARCHER aviation. I'll take the chance to explain how to draw some horizontal levels as well. So basically, you want to include as many points as possible. It doesn't matter if it's a week or not a week. The idea is that, uh, for example, here, I could have drawn it like this, but I'm missing 1, 2 contact points. So more likely than not, price deviated above the level, and I move this down to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as support here, 9 here as resistance, and then it went above it. But that's kind of the whole logic with horizontal levels. You want to incorporate as many contact points as possible, and that's the true level. And you will often see things like this. Like if I change the graph to weekly, you will see that this is a week most likely. Yes, let's see. It wasn't. On a different time frame, it will be like on the monthly. All that move above it was simply a week, so it got retraced below it. Same this move here and so on. So this is kind of the logic of drawing horizontal supports. You want to get as many points as it possible whilst it makes sense. Here we have 1 point, we have the move down here, support. We could potentially move it a bit higher like this to also catch this, and this is just deviation, and I think it makes more sense like this to also include the week here. So this is the area actually, and it makes more sense when we look at the top here. Then we draw it here. What else do we have? This one makes sense with contact here, and here. And then we only have the breakdown, I think. Anyway, so then we look at a couple of intermediate levels, and probably it's gonna be this one. This one because contact here. Then it's a supply zone because we had a breakdown from this level, a flush down. We tested and got immediately rejected. So this was a supply zone, meaning there are sellers here. And as you can see, as soon as we get to this area here, we get 1 week rejection, second week rejection, third week rejection, then fourth one, and then full breakdown. Uh, this is trapped supply sellers, trapped sellers. And as soon as the price gets back into this area, they want to uh, cover, and they become sellers. Like, oh my god, I got back to the price I entered in. I'm getting the fuck out of this thing before it craters again. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Same with buy zones as well. Like for example, here, like it moved up and it forgot buyers. Some people wanted to buy in this area from accumulation, and it left without them. And when price got back into the demand zone, which is this whole area here, likely starting from around this point. So when price got back in this point, and it found immediately buyers. There were orders left that weren't filled and didn't get a chance to buy before it ran up, and those orders remained there. So we can see that tested once, another big rally, dropped again, another big rally. The more times a demand zone or supply zone gets tested, the weaker it becomes, because one chance to buy again and we got a big rally. Second chance to buy again, big rally. but the third time there were no more buyers here. Like anyone who wanted to buy got the fuck out, and then we had a breakdown. And in the same way, once we had a breakdown, some people who mistakenly bought here believing that we will bounce again got trapped. And when we got back to this area, uh, again, rejection, rejection, rejection. And eventually, after multiple rejections, you move back down to the low of the range. Buy area here again. Once we got to it, we go back up again, and so on and so on. So, not looking good. Bearish divergence all over the place. So first one here, MACD. If you look at the other video I posted today about the market and the MACD signal, this is exactly what I'm looking for to when something is about to break down. And using the same logic as I explained earlier, what do we have here? So market went up, 1 week rejection, second week rejection, week rejection, week rejection. What do we see here? Rejection. Rejection went down, went up again, immediately strong rejection. Went back up again. It wasn't weak based, but again, rejection. Now it went up again, another rejection. At most, this thing has one last push in it above, and then it should crater at least to this area here. This is a demand zone, and probably buy at 487, and it could potentially do another run up. But other than that, depending on market condition, it could potentially go back to free. So potentially another push up for the last rejection, then it craters to 4.95, and then its decision point can go back up like it did here. It likes to move in ranges, I see, like went here, then it broke down, did this a couple of times, then it did it again when it recaptured the level, did it once. When it broke out, it did it once again. Now it should do it, the sideways move back to 490 again, and then decision point, like I said. I would assume it plays out in the bullish scenario. So go down, go up, and maybe the next time it goes down, it doesn't hold and does this. But for now, I think it's like 70-30 towards the bullish case, uh, this rather than this. The little semi-tester. I had this drawn from a long time ago. Let's extend it. Looks decent. Deviation when it goes back in. I keep telling you guys about the pattern in which there's a big level. You go above it, meaning you deviate above it. Then when you go back below that level and back tested and get rejected, you have a flush. This is exactly what I mean. Like this is a textbook example. We deviate above it, even consolidate above it a bit. But then we lose the level. We go back up, try to recapture it again, get rejected, and then flush. This is textbook stuff, basically. Uh, This one I had run out and it had a breakout and volume and whatever. If we double it, it's still very high. So this is not relevant most likely. Too many things drawn here and I don't remember when I drew them. So this is a big level, but this is the level. Contact here, contact here, contact here, contact here, contact here. Small consolidation below it, backtest, and it runs up. So this is a big level. We mark it down. This is another big level. We mark it down. This one as well. And this one, but it's too far away. We don't care for now. Okay, then we have levels above. Let's see how we draw this one. Probably like this, based on the wick here. Actually, maybe even, no, it's fine. So contact here, horizontal here. So we're coming to support. MACD dropping. Let's look at the weekly. Should be doing a crossover like everything else. Also look at the weekly with this one rejection, second rejection, third rejection, 4 times it craters. Well, considering how oversold it is, and we are sort of at the midpoint of the channel, which contact, 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 contact again. I would assume we see a bounce and a lower high. And we can draw it like this. This will become likely a trend line. And maybe we go as low as that, but doesn't matter really. And we go up. And where did the breakdown happen? The breakdown happened here. Sure about it because we have a little contact. So basically push up, and then the flush candle that started the downtrend is the trapped supply area. So it's below this level, 47.72. So any rally is likely going to stop at that level, depending on how quickly it goes. Oops, it was good. Wanted to delete this. So say we do this, maybe we get rejected. We go back here and eventually break out. And when we get to 47-ish, oops, didn't want to delete it. Capture, we go up. So first one is horizontal level here. This is a clear one. So this is the point of first rejection, a likely point of first rejection. If we go down, I would assume we do an equivalent low or a slightly lower low, but without with a bullish RSI divergence. So something like this. This goes up, then it goes down, and this is higher than. Shit. This is higher, and this is like this. Whatever, you got the point. So this makes a higher low, this makes a lower low, and this will be a sign of bullishness. And we break out, we get above this point, and then we hit the trapped supply point, and then we crater, potentially go back here. Um, how to draw this one? Most likely this. And this is likely to be a very big level. Also confluent with the channel. Assuming we even break above the supply, all-time high is the supply zone. So the same thing, I would assume we will have similar to this. Before the next big leg up, we had a consolidation period for it, this, and lasted since January 2023 until June 2023. So 6 months, more or less. I would assume before another leg higher, the same kind of situation happens. So this started in July. I would assume it would move like this regardless of the market until beginning of next year or something like that. This is my assumption, seeing how this played out. Uh, what will negate this is losing this low. If we lose this low, I would expect a much bigger breakdown, a retest of this level here at 26. And this would be bullish. This is kind of like we don't ever break this trend line. You see, like I didn't even try to draw it like this, but basically test trend line, get rejected. Test trend line, get rejected. Test trend line, get rejected. and only at this point it becomes a good buy. And when it breaks out, I think it will be a very strong breakout and move quickly. So these are the three scenarios, basically equivalent low, then breakout, move first level here, second level here, and when it gets to this level, assume a rejection and that we will drop. Hope that made sense. Okay, ALB Marley, whatever the fuck is called. I had this rundown out apparently. Don't remember when, but it's legit. But not doesn't look that good. This is a big one. This was technically a very good demand zone. This one here. Check this out. Yeah, going back. So this in theory was a high quality demand zone. There was a breakout from here. It moved quickly. People didn't have a chance to get on. Lots of trapped demand at this level. But unfortunately, by this time, we tested it once and had another big rally. Tested it again and had a very strong bounce. But at this point, it looks like utter shit and like it's about to break down. The next time it tests this demand area, I don't think it will do very well. And looks like a week off distribution pattern that is about to break down. So at most, we could still get a bullish move up here. I would see it as a retest of this. Let's ignore the wicks and do it like this. So I would see it doing like a move here, deviate a bit, so to 225-ish, to 15. So this would be the only bullish scenario I see, but I don't believe it will happen. Maybe even lower, like this. This is where the breakdown happened with this candle here, this one, and it's only 174, but the candle was huge for because it went higher first. So 631 candle, which is big for this name. So this is the trapped uh, supply at this level here. Maybe even a bit lower. Ah, looks good. It's fine. So best case bullish scenario is it goes here, gets rejected, does this again, and then we finally have a breakdown for it. And it should go to a minimum, or the next high quality demand zone is here. 97. Like that's half. And this is how it works actually. Like if this thing breaks down, of course it has more support, but we have this one here and we double it, and seems about right. 63% in a single name is not that much. There's intermediate support here. 46-ish. This is the next demand zone, but it's been tapped once and it's not that strong. It depends on momentum. The next high quality one is this, like I said. Oh, actually, it has a high here as well. this. So let's draw the scenarios. First one, bullish one can be very, very weak. Like it can go into slow bleed mode, then drop here, where it may bounce. But even if it bounces, it will bounce to 171 and then go for new lows. This won't be a slow thing, by the way. Like it's a very slow drop, and only here it finds like this is an air pocket because it went through it so quickly. There are no orders. If it goes below 145, it's fucked. Like it will drop from 145 to 97 in like 3 days. There is no, there are no orders in this area. It's an air pocket. So if it doesn't hold here, goes here, bounce a bit, then retest, and if it doesn't hold, crater to 97. I think this is the most likely scenario. Then maybe we do this, maybe here we bounce once, do the same. Yeah, that's it. This doesn't look bullish. The only thing I will not touch this long unless it's like a 2 day play or something like that for a short-term bounce. But unless it gets above this trend line, this is not a buy. If it gets above the trend line, yeah, sure, wait for a back test of the trend line. Let's say it goes above, wait for a back test of the trend line combined with the horizontal support, and then it may do this. But no, don't buy long unless it's very short term because it's a pure technical play. Okay, AMC. I remember posting this. So we did go to the 319 supply zone, demand zone, sorry, and we had a strong bounce because it was a quality demand zone. And now we are getting to the point to this level here. And this one didn't play out, so we don't care. This one didn't play out exactly like this. We didn't double dip, but I think now we will double dip. So basically this, we will get to 415 and then question mark. Are we getting rejected or are we recapturing? And I think it's a lot more likely we get rejected. This is not necessarily bearish, longer term, but we could bounce here on 369. We could double test this and bounce here. High chance we bounce here as well because this zone isn't tapped out. This would be obviously where we bounce on 369 would be more bullish. And when we eventually recapture, we will go to 5. And that's kind of it. No, it's pretty straightforward. So now, like I said, question is what happens when we go into this area here? And this is trapped supply. Like when we get here, sell the fuck out of it, short the fuck out of it, because anyone who bought around this area is going to be very, very happy to sell and get the fuck out break evenish. So capture, we go here. This will crater it back to 369 probably. AMD. Okay, stays like this. This looks very, very bullish actually. If we don't drop a lot, this looks quite nice. because it's a fake breakdown. So this is a big level. And we may even test it. But if we don't break below it, then fake breakdown, we break above this trend line and it starts going up quickly and a lot. And I think we will be seeing a retest of the highs. 125 for sure. Don't know if anything above that. Yeah, probably this is too ambitious. I would say target is 125. Anything above it is a bonus and you should be getting out. So let's say we do this, then we break out. The breakout is when you want to buy basically, and that's it. Or retest of 99 when you think it's going to hold. And I think it's going to hold like that. This is now a supply zone. It went surged up. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of orders remaining at a 99, 100 to get filled because they didn't get in when it moved. Yeah, looks okay. Like it. If it goes below 100, it's obviously not good. But we also look for a backtest. So let's say we go below 100 and next support would be this area here. This. So we go to 93, 94, then go back up. If we get rejected from 100, then it's really, really bad. Back to 75-ish with a stop here. Maybe we bounce from here. Maybe we go lower like this. Amazon. At the trend line. Channel. About right. One of the ones that have been holding up pretty well. RSI looks like it will bounce on 50. So yes, we go back up. First resistance, the recent high. If we break above it, it's unlikely we break above it, not even worth talking about it. So target is recent high, and then look for the breakdown, backtest, and then we should uh, drop quickly to 120-ish, 120, 125 area, something like this. Not that interesting. ASTS. Get some stuff here. This one is very important. This one is important. This one is important. This one. Bullish divergence. bullish divergence. How was the volume? At horizontal support. It's looking decent. The thing to note here is this level. This is trapped supply. This would be very difficult to recapture, and as well the gap fill here. As you can see, we got rejected at the gap start basically. So in theory it should bounce, go back up, go back up. The sellers from here have been somewhat exhausted, not exhausted. Some of them have sold. So 475 might cause a smaller sell-off, like go back to 422, then go back up, we recapture. This won't be a problem, and then it goes to 6, and this will cause it to crater again because this was earnings. No, this was some announcement or something. Uh, if this doesn't hold the lows, it's pretty bad. Like I think it halves or something. And my best guess, no man's land, of course. My best guess is that we go to this channel. So if this doesn't hold the lows here, it should begin to crater quite aggressively. This, and then keeps going, slow bleeding to death until 2. But from their recent earnings, it was looking quite promising for the foreseeable future. Not foreseeable, for the immediate future. So I think it's more likely that we get a bounce and move up to at least 475. Then, like I said, pull back because there are more sellers here, and then potentially maybe get above it if the market cooperates as well. But target 1, target 2, target 3. Baba, big level, big level. What was this? Oh, all-time low level. This is intermediate support. China is not looking good. I would not be surprised to see it drop quite a lot. I continue down. It depends what happens in China. Like for now, people are holding pretty strongly on the Chinese stuff, especially on Baba, which is the most uh, appreciated name. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it make new lows from relative to this point. So maybe even go to 75. I honestly don't know what to do with the Chinese stuff, considering how bad the news from economic news from China has been. If we get news of actual stimulus, go long. Otherwise, just wait. I don't think it's worth the risk. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll do 2 more and then stop for this video. I'll do the rest. I'll continue in a different video. Okay, city. Well, broke down, unfortunately, and now it's back at the range lows. This was as well a high quality demand area here because it did this afterwards and lots of trapped buyers. But one time, second time, third time, now we are at the fourth time, unfortunately, and the chances of it breaking down are much higher than normal. Of course, it can obviously bounce, but I would expect it to bounce from a deviation, like continue down and maybe go here, go down to here to 40, and then move up. Like if it goes to 40, it will bounce 100%. Even if this gets rejected and then goes for new lows, at 40, it will bounce for sure. But the quality of the buyers here is much less. And now maybe there are some buyers here because at 40.85, because this is now a demand zone. But I don't know how good it is. But most likely in this area here, you want to be a buyer because the demand zone is lower quality. I think we deviate below this 41.79 level. And then we go to 43, 44 for sure. This might get rejected. I don't know. Something like this. Scenario. So again, rejected here. If we get rejected and the low doesn't hold, I think we go to 35. And this is once again a high quality demand area. It's a very clear buy. And I think if we draw a channel, we'll see it's a bottom of a channel as well, approximately. Yes. Yes. Again, timeline may differ. Uh, Bullish scenario would be to have a breakout. So we go this, we capture, we bull flag here for a while, consolidate more accumulation. It has to not drop from this point, and then eventually it breaks out, and when it breaks out, it will move quickly and fast towards 52. This is the bullish case. I think the bearish case is more likely. At least the part where we got drop to the 40 area, 40, 41 area. This this part here, I'm very, very confident in. Uh, Casey's, this one, I have no idea what it is. I mean, retail stores, but first time I look at it ever. So let's draw it out. Trend line, trend line. So for the daily, this is a setup for a bigger drop. I think it may retest the high, so do this, but this will be 100% a lower high on MACD, and same on RSI. Like this will definitely be like this, and likely get rejected and go down. Let's do the horizontal stuff now. This is one contact here, contact here, contact here, contact here. Or actually move it a bit lower to catch this. Yeah, let's do it like this, and that's a different one. So I think this is the important one. And then we have a smaller level like this above for this deviation here. We have this one here. Next one is more difficult. Probably like this. Lower. I'll look at the higher time frame because the wicks from that higher time frame help you pinpoint where it is actually. Let's do monthly. See what I mean? The wicks here are the level, so it's either like this or this one. Basically the bottom of this wick. Okay. So out bull pennant here. We have another trend line for the previous breakout. Is this relevant? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really like it. It's gonna be one of the horizontal stuff to compensate. But okay, so what we can see here is this is a high quality demand zone because it didn't have time to accumulate a lot and then it just flew higher. So when it gets to this area here, it will find buyers. So what this tells us is that the next time the trend line it is tested, it's unlikely that it will break down. So let's assume we get a breakdown and we drop here to the trend line. This will not break the trend line. So it's more likely than not that it will go back towards the highs. If it were to do this, I don't think it will do this yet. So I think this is more like a bull flag. Let's look at volume as well. Volume is shit. But no, that's a good thing because it's on a pullback. So seems more likely that it will go back up, go to the highs. This trend line will very likely hold. It will then get rejected. It will break this uptrend. This again. So breakout goes to the high, 259 to 60, gets rejected, bounces once on the trend line, loses it, back tests, and then it just flushes down to. Is this level good enough? No, I like this one better. Like this. Yes, I like this one. So drops to this one, maybe bounces, does something like this, and then bounces again, goes high, and then the next time it retests this, it will have the breakdown. And target would be 200. Key point here is that it's very unlikely that it will lose the trend line the first time it retests. I think it does another swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, and then it finally breaks down and goes back to 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cat and CAVA, and then we stop. Well, cat, broadening formation drawn a while back. Do it like this, it works as well. It's being back tested. Well, I have no idea, but keep to the rule. We have a breakout. For now, it's a deviation. If it goes back below it, it back tests and then goes back down, it will flush down. The level we want to look at is this is the big one, like I do it well. This one is the next target, but most likely 225 if it breaks down. If it doesn't break down, I think 300 is decent. And 300 makes a marginally higher high, and then it does this. You get the idea. If it goes back in, target here, we get a bounce, go back here for the previous all-time high. This one as well, because it's a good level. So drops back on previous all-time high, tries to go back into bullish mode, gets rejected, loses the previous all-time high, backtests again, goes back to this level at 244 to 50, consolidates here as a bear flag, and then goes to 225, and then we get a bounce, and the fun starts again potentially. CAVA, consumer restaurants, okay. I remember this one. I was very surprised that they're IPOing stuff in 2023. Okay, so the only thing you need, because it does have a lot of history, it's more difficult to evaluate. But a very important level for um, new companies is the level where they opened for IPO day. And as we can see here, it was a support, like bounce here, support here, uh, sort of a small rejection at this point. So it didn't even get to the level. And now we can see that on Friday, actually, it held exactly on this level, this 42 level. I'll have to go into a lower time frame for this one because, again, not a lot of history, and we will be drawing levels based on this. One important level is this one, like high of the IPO run-up, then rejection, rejection, then when it recaptured it, it had a surge. Support goes back up, support goes back up and gets rejected. So now we have another level here. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. This is deviation. It's actually this one. This. Because dropped, backtest, then drop more. Then when it recaptured, it went above it as well. And then where did the flush down start? Like this was slow drop, slow drop, slow drop, and then flush. And then here it was a resistance. This is the reasoning behind it. Okay, now we rejected, support again bounced, then lost it and flushed down. And the 42 level now is support. Then when we go down, this is the level, and potentially here, again from the IPO, immediately dropping on IPO, but I think this is a less relevant one. Okay, this being said, where do we have trapped supply? We have it here at 45.82. So most likely, if this rally continues, it will backtest it, and uh, we know what happens. We either get strongly rejected, or we break above it and it has a surge up. Uh, Considering the where we are in the market cycle, I would doubt that we get a surge up. So uh, here is our range for when we are below this level, and that's kind of it. Go up. If we get rejected, we will go back down here, probably bear flag a bit, lose it, backtest, drop, and go to 47. It can go below 47. I don't know. It doesn't have a lot of history. If it goes below 47, assume we will double this range. So basically like this. So if this becomes a victim of the market or of themselves, new target is 28.82 if we were to make new lows. But assuming the market is bullish as well, and that's my bias, like I said in the other video and in other stuff, I think we go up, then we go down, and then we go for new lows here. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll continue in a different one. I'll post them as soon as I do them. Have a good one. Bye bye.